Good morning, everyone. Please be seated. On behalf of the University of Strathclyde, I warmly welcome all of you to the Barony Hall, a magnificent and fitting venue for this very special day, a day which some of you have been waiting for almost 2 years. In March 2020, more than 2 years ago now, the COVID-19 pandemic changed all of our lives, and it had a profound effect on the university, changing the way we work, the way we teach and learn, and of course, very sadly, preventing us from graduating and you in person and celebrating with you then in person. Since then, we've worked really hard over the past 24 months to keep our Strathclyde community safe while continuing to deliver a high-quality education and student experience. And I've been hugely impressed by how staff and students have responded and adapted. Thank you all very much. Now, with positive indications that we're coming out of the worst of the pandemic, and with protection measures starting to ease, we're really delighted to be able to welcome you back in person and to share with your celebrations today. In a few moments, we will commence our special ceremony, where our graduates will come up onto the stage where they will be capped. This ancient tradition is a rite of passage. It is a mark of achievement, and it is a sign that you are part of our great university. Once I have awarded all of the degrees, I will then take a short time to have the opportunity to tell you more about our university, our heritage, and the role we are playing in the world today. Once the ceremony is finished, you're invited to join us at a reception in our new learning and teaching building, which overlooks Broughton Row Gardens. Before we start, please do savour this moment. And to all the families, friends, supporters gathered here, please don't be shy. Take the opportunity to celebrate and feel free to clap and cheer your loved ones as they come across the stage, and please very much enjoy the ceremony. You're very, very welcome to be here. So without further ado, I declare the ceremony open, and I invite my colleague, Professor Susan Howick, to introduce our graduates. Susan. Thank you.
Associate Principal, in the name of the University and by the authority of Senate, I present to you these students. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, for research in the Department of Economics, Rohan Sachdev. For research in the Hunter Centre for Entrepreneurship, Mark Alexander Johnson. For research in the Department of Management Science, Alison Bradley. Robin Jessica Miller. Obafemi Onyedikachi Olikanma. Jiahui Yang. For the degree of Master of Science in Applied Economics, Declan Brennan. Murray Logan McLean. Grant Collier Nippler. Iswat Oljamobi Aladeli. Band Akram Oni Mohammed Rabaye. Nicholas Sketos. Nathasit Trakulcharonsak. Robert George Watts. In Economics and Finance, Clemens Weiss. Yuri Zukov. In Global Energy Management, Hemansh Anand. In Entrepreneurial Management and Leadership, Panagiotis Vavatis. Matthew Paul Fennan. Maria Del Mar Herrera Carvajal. Olympia Cadencia. Penelope Perrin. Prarthana Ramesh. Ragul Saktivel. In Entrepreneurship, Innovation and Technology, Kunal Bambri. David Gilberto Gomez Correa. Joshua Thomas Goring. Ada Ingman Pettersson. Ole Weisenbergner. In Business Analysis and Consulting, Sana Ahmed. Popescu Alina. Maria Anagnostou. Nikendilim Mitchell Anakwenzi. Desislava Vladimirova Angelova. Adam Karim Atri. Ramat Aluwatosing Awatoribo. Connor Alexander Thomas Byers. Alexander Joel Drummond. Nikki Efthimio. Agassi Habd. Ross Haining. Sili Sanji Kawathikar. Maria Lauzo. Moksha Menon. Etienne Nicholas. Sharvesh Ravikumar. Aditya Kamlesh Sharda. In data analytics, Mechi Baglaj. Annie Balada Serrano. Ander Gallion. Matthew Thomas Hutchison. Yanis Kappas. Panagiotis Lafogianis. Ikar Lassa Ojanguran. Siobhan Fiona Matheson McMillan. Abdul Rehman Ahmad Mian. Jesse Andrew Mills. Guin Le An Thu. Azia Prieto de la Vega. Sagar Ray. Manjunath Sutir. Emma Louise Traynor. In Project Management International, Sarah Bossi. Sintong Lee. Joy Sphere. Maria Stella Trabuco. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Economics, Adam James Bars. James John Buchan. Christopher Burns. Claire Lois Hannah. Angus Mail. Sean Patrick McGlynn. Catherine Eleanor Mackenzie Milne. Beth Patterson. Jack Tahish. Peter Charles Thorpe. Caitlin Mary Warrington. Finnan O'Brien Boyce Betts. Rory Cole. James Finnan. Megan Hannah Gillespie. Caitlin Ann Smart. Alan Sobek. Greg Jackson Turner. Andrew Ward. Christopher Thomas Harrison. In Economics and Business Analysis and Technology, Aina Shahira Binti Mohammed Zaid. In Economics and Business Analysis and Technology with International Study, Poppy Mac Wingate. In Economics and Business Enterprise, Caitlin Lauren McNally. In Economics and Business Law, Jocelyn Edwina Teja. In Economics and Finance, Aidan Thomas Collins. Maria Drakakis. Sarah Dunsmore. Callum Fox. Charlotte Elizabeth Gallagher. Kirandeep Kaur Gill. Hannah Lauren Kidd. Scott Alexander McQuiston. Emma Milligan. Lindsay Milligan. Michael Morrison. Samuel James Shedd. Ian David Stewart. Hope Milne Fraser. In Economics and Finance with International Study, Kira Crummy. Laura Elizabeth Kinnaird. In Economics and Human Resource Management, Ailsa Gollin. In Economics and Management, Caitlin O'Shaughnessy. Laura Yvonne Storm. In Economics and Marketing, Amy Elizabeth MacDonald. Joseph Reid. Julia Robbie. Emma Sharat. In Economics and Psychology, Meg Sandstrom. In Business Enterprise, Anmol Bano. Christopher Cousins. Ross Hutchison. Musab Matuk Q. Khan. Michael McAvenny. Sarah Osborne. Haris Ahmed. Victoria Lynn MacDonald. In Business Enterprise and Economics, Robbie James MacDonald Milne. In Business Enterprise and Finance, Eleanor Rosemary Matheson Deere. In Business Enterprise and Management, Gemma Elizabeth Muir. Zoe Danielle Moore. In Business Enterprise and Marketing, Daniel Jack. Alexandra Pender. Nadia Simpson. Elizabeth Frances Wallace. Caroline Drennan. Lana Meek. Mark Gary Thorburn. In Business Enterprise with International Study, Fraser Ian Russell. In Business Analysis and Technology and Economics, Tina Bigness. Logan Thomas Scott. In Business Analysis and Technology and Finance, Su-Sen Chen. In Business Analysis and Technology and Finance with International Study, Kayleigh Kuhn Harrison. In Business Analysis and Technology and Human Resource Management, Catherine Robb. Victoria Welsh. In Business Analysis and Technology and Marketing, Eva Catherine Darragh. In Economics and Finance, Thomas MacLeod. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Business Analysis and Technology and Business Enterprise, Theophany Leganti.
Let me once again welcome you to this special congregation, an unusual one because you have already received your degrees and have graduated. We were determined to offer all of our graduates the chance to come back here with the opportunity, as soon as we were able to do so, to celebrate your achievements in front of your families and friends and supporters, because it is undoubtedly the highlight in our academic calendar, and we could not let this go unacknowledged. We wrote to more than 8,500 of you, and we've been welcoming around half that number back to Glasgow from across Scotland, the UK and the world. In total, we will be convening 22 ceremonies. And I might say that you, the class of 2021, are particularly special in having faced the unique challenges brought about by the coronavirus pandemic. You've faced disruption to the way you've had to learn, to socialise, and to sit for exams, and you've gone out into the world at a time of unprecedented challenges. But in the face of all of this, you have shown courage, determination, resilience, and adaptability. As you forge your new careers, the university's values of being ambitious, bold, innovative, collaborative, and people-orientated will stand you in good stead. At the end of this ceremony, you will be invited to join the academic procession when we leave the hall. This is a symbol that you are no longer a student and you are now full members of the academic community of Strathclyde, a community that numbers over 175,000 across the world. I'd like to start by congratulating our graduates on their achievements and their success during very challenging circumstances. Your hard work has paid off. We all know just how much work you've had to put in to be here today. We're extremely proud of you, and you too should feel very proud of your achievements. Well done. I know that in reaching this moment, you will all have had the support and encouragement of your families and your friends, even more so over the past 2 years. Many of them are here today in person or are thinking of you on this special occasion, and I am sure you're extremely grateful for their support. They are celebrating today not only your achievements, but your hopes and future dreams and their belief that you can make the world a better place. I'd like us to take this opportunity to show appreciation and gratitude for all of those who have supported you. So please do join me. Similarly, all our graduates have been helped by my wonderful colleagues from across the university who've worked extremely hard to provide you with a first-class education and an outstanding student experience despite the challenges of COVID, and for whom your success is their reward. So graduates, please join me in showing your appreciation to them. It is important that we recognise that you have graduated at a time of considerable global challenge, and that there is no question that more challenges lie ahead of us. The coronavirus pandemic has had far-reaching and unprecedented effects on all our lives. The pandemic has not only challenged our health systems, impacted our economies, and changed the way we work, it has also had a profound impact on education. The current situation in Ukraine is also impacting not only on those having to live through the horror that they're experiencing, but the pain that is extending right across the world, and our thoughts are with everyone impacted by that today. What we have shown, though, is that what we can achieve, what society can achieve when we work together. Our response to the coronavirus pandemic placed science at the forefront to the solutions that we wanted to address. For it was science and universities that delivered vaccines for the COVID-19 virus in record time, and it is science and education that will help us address the most pressing issue of the day, which has to be climate change. Last year, Glasgow hosted COP26, the summit of world leaders and nations
which came together to agree measures to prevent the continued warming of our planet. Several important pledges were made at that gathering, and it will be upon all of us to ensure that those promises are kept. We all need to push for further changes and to play our part in putting education, scientific and social solutions to help make a just and fair transition to net zero, and a transition that leaves no one behind. It is important that we recognise that coronavirus and climate change have exposed deep-seated divisions in our societies. They have highlighted weaknesses in our systems and even the denial of science and expert knowledge. Strathclyde is an institution where freedom of thought is encouraged and is valued. We are an institution exemplified by tolerance and inclusivity. It is one which seeks to play a significant role in shaping the world in which we live, through our teaching, our research, and through you, our graduates. As part of COP26, former US President Barack Obama came to Strathclyde to speak with students about the important role young people can and will play in tackling climate change. His message was simple but powerful. He encouraged all of us to get active. As a Strathclyde graduate, remember, you possess some of the most important assets that anyone can have in today's world. Knowledge, the ability to innovate, the ability to think creatively, and to design entrepreneurial solutions to pressing problems and challenges. Most importantly, you have the capacity to use your talents for the good of society. Obama's is an appeal that I know you, our graduates, will take up, no more so than our graduates of Strathclyde Business School. Within the UK and Scotland, we are very lucky to have a higher education system that is valued. This is not just because education broadens the mind, it does. But we also value education because it creates opportunities for individuals and societies. And as Strathclyders, we carry a sense of duty to use what we have learned wisely and for the good of others. The desire to have a positive impact on the world comes naturally to graduates of Strathclyde. We are the only university that was founded during the Enlightenment period, and Strathclyde embodies the Enlightenment principles of reasons, tolerance, and equity. In 1796, our university's founder, John Anderson, a professor of natural philosophy, physics, was at the University of Glasgow. He left a sum of money for the foundation of a rival college, a place of useful learning to which he instructed that tradesmen, artisans, and most daringly, women should also be admitted. Allow me to quote from his will. John Anderson wrote, "The ladies in Glasgow may have an opportunity of being at several of these courses of lectures, such that a stock of knowledge will be laid in as we make them the most accomplished ladies in Europe." So today, graduates, please know that you are in the very good company of many graduates, including the ladies of Glasgow, whom John Anderson supported to become the most accomplished ladies in Europe. And I think that deserves an applause as well. Today, the University of Strathclyde is a modern incarnation of Anderson's founding philosophy, a leading international technological university that is socially progressive. Turning now to Strathclyde Business School, we have much to celebrate despite recent challenges. Last year, we were proud and honoured to receive a £50 million donation from alumnus Dr. Charles Huang through his philanthropic foundation. This is the largest gift Strathclyde has ever received. The donation was made as a token of gratitude for the scholarship that facilitated Dr. Huang's education at Strathclyde, and it honours the late Professor Stephen Young, a former head of the Department of Marketing and Dr. Huang's supervisor and mentor during his studies. And an interesting fact, Stephen was the very first person that I worked with when I joined Strathclyde, because he actually was in the room next to me and was an absolutely lovely, lovely person. From this donation, £20 million will allow us to create an Institute for International Business, a Global Leaders Scholarship Programme, and a series of entrepreneurship awards that will support Strathclyde Inspire, our institution-wide entrepreneurship strategy. The remaining £30 million will be used to support a new sustainable building, a key part of the university's technology and innovation zone. Other things to celebrate. This year, our Department of Marketing, which is recognised as one of the oldest and most established marketing departments in Europe, is celebrating its 50th anniversary. It is also noteworthy that our business school had all 4 possible subjects ranked in the top 10 of the Complete University Guide. In this, accounting and finance achieved 1st position in the UK, marketing retained 3rd position in the UK and 1st in Scotland, and economics and business and management studies were all listed in the top 10. The university has also worked closely with BAYS and the UK government to introduce to Scotland a programme that is focused on developing the leadership skills of entrepreneurs. This programme was recently praised by Paul Scully, MP and Minister for Small Business. The programme is 12 weeks long, and it helps develop the leadership skills required for entrepreneurs to lead growth within their organisations. And since we launched the programme in August 21, Strathclyde has seen more than 100 participants enjoy and engage with the programme. There is, however, no greater accolade than to see our students graduate and go on to success. Your energy, determination and commitment make you highly sought after by employers. I am sure that today marks the beginning of the next successful chapter in your careers. It is with immense pride that all of us here see you graduate formally today. Though you may be leaving us, you remain important members of our Strathclyde family, and we hope that you will stay in touch. On behalf of the Principal, the Executive Dean of Strathclyde Business School, and all of us at the University of Strathclyde, many congratulations to each and every one of you. Thank you. I now declare this congregation closed and would like to invite our new graduates to join the academic procession to the Learning and Teaching building. I'd politely ask families and friends to remain in the hall until the procession has left the building, and then please join us for the reception in the Teaching and Learning building. Please be upstanding.